What's up, everyone? This is Critique. So on this video, I'm going to talk about the purpose of sexual abuse in early childhood, especially in regards to those who are gifted and who have a divine purpose upon their lives. And we're going to do a reading in regards to that. So personally for me, I know that sexual abuse is one of the most potent forms of trauma that you can initiate upon an individual. And the type of effects that it has on someone can be quite debilitating. It can silence people. It can definitely limit and debilitate your throat chakra. It can interfere with your heart chakra, your root chakra, sacral, of course, your solar, literally all of your chakras. But everything happens for a reason. And the thing that you will find about readings and channelings or all the alike is that whatever is said in the video, during the video, is meant to be said in that order, in that time, what have you. And so I say that because, in the order that I chose to list those chakras, that's just kind of how it goes. Now, I will say, of course, your root chakra and your sacral chakra. But when you think about it, especially being someone who has experienced it, and that has been a form of attack that's been used on me several times since I was a little girl, I would definitely say crown chakra, and then the throat chakra, the root chakra, the heart chakra, solar plexus, and then sacral. Because one thing that it does do, what it did do for me, and this probably has a lot to do with just my destiny or my life path in general and whom I was supposed to become, but I can definitely say that my intuition has always been pretty powerful and on point since I was very young. Very sensitive to spirit, very sensitive to energies, intentions. I was a kid who used to stay up all night until daylight because I was afraid of the dark. I used to see things. I've had dreams, very vivid dreams, that's come back to me when I was older about certain experiences, situations, people, where I was able to connect the dots. Then another thing too, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in any other video, but I definitely experienced attacks growing up in a dream state or spiritual attacks in general from a young age. But as I said, one of the most effective form of attacks that's kind of just been used on me was sexual abuse of some form. Molestation to your more severe cases, which will be rape. So it's been on my heart. The divine has definitely been calling me to do a reading specifically for sexual abuse in regards to the divine collective who have experienced this form of attack. It is a very serious form of attack. As I said, it puts you in a position where entities can easily be transmitted to you, can make you sensitive and naive to other spirits in this manner, accessible because those doors have been open. Basically, just increases your vulnerability to certain energies because it's like tears within your soul. And I was also, before I get started, I was also someone who was like really into like Scooby-Doo. I really love mysteries, cracking mysteries. I definitely was a scary movie fanatic type of person. But I guess the biggest thing for me, I used to be really, really big into Criminal Minds, CSI, for example. I love that. I used to want to be a detective when I was younger. When I was a little girl, I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be a detective. So when it happened to me, it's not that I haven't known that this was a thing that happens in the world. Well, nah. When I was molested as a little girl, no, I was not aware. I was not watching those shows that young. I mean, I was just still, playing with dolls and video games, wanting to go to the zoo, Disney World, play outside and make mud pies like I'm really cooking, stuff like that. And the thing about that for me is that it happened with a family member who was also pretty young. So as I got older, I definitely noticed, I noticed the immediate changes within me after that first experience of molestation, because that was my first time learning that, there was any type of sensation or that type of sensation down there, the arousal or whatever, experience those type of physical feelings, like with your body. Devil energy, yeah, very toxic. So, and another thing too, we're going to get into the significance of the number 8, because something that I've seen as well in my journey is that a lot of people began to experience their most intense spiritual attacks. 10 of Swords, around the age of 8 years old, or 7 of Swords, 7, 8, and 10. Because the earliest I remember is 8, but I noticed that I will always say either 8 or around that age. So it could have been earlier for me, but I remember the age 8, either 8 or 7, which we know 7 is a very powerful number within itself, but also 8. So, but we'll get into the significance of the number 8 as well. So, I just wanted to pull some cards for those of us who have experienced this form of attack at some point of our life and our journeys, because it does affect us greatly. It does affect how you view people and your experiences moving forward. I can definitely say that for me. So I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. Well, definitely shorter than the last video I did. We don't want to be here for an hour. I have angel light inside of my singing bowl. And also frankincense and myrrh resin. I have selenite on the table, as well as unakite, labradorite, and amethyst. I have some other crystals on the side, but my crystals that I chose to have on the forefront was those that I've just mentioned. And we also have a red candle burning for the root chakra. So let's get into this. I'm going to be pulling from the Modern Witch Tarot deck as well as Daisy Ozum's Master Spiritual Warfare Oracle. I think I'm going to pull from I may pull from her Ancestral Healing deck just because I do feel like it can give us some in-depth messages regarding the spread, obviously, because it is a form of abuse, and many of our ancestors have definitely experienced sexual abuse. We know that in slavery, a lot of the slave owners did force themselves onto our ancestors. This is an entity. All right, let's get into this. Please, divine and loving ancestors, would you provide us some messages regarding the sexual abuse, the utilization of sexual abuse on divine feminines and masculines? Because we understand that this is not just secluded to feminine energy. So we had the Three of Cups and the Five of Swords come out, but I'm going to see if they come back out. So, excuse me. Please, divine and other ancestors, can you give us some messages regarding the purpose of the utilization of sexual abuse and attacks on the divine collective? Can you give us some insight regarding the purpose of the utilization of sexual abuse on the divine collective? So we have so far the Hermit card and the Four of Swords to put you in that energy of feeling alone, feeling secluded, isolated, to disrupt your stability, the Four of Wands. Yes, we have the Eight of Swords to put you in this energy when you definitely feel burdened and impacted. And we also have the Four of Pentacles. So once again, to disrupt stability within the person. The Star, because of who you are, because we had the Star card just come out, Three of Swords, and a Nine of Swords. So yes, all this is done because you are a divine being. A divine being. Those entities, see, the thing about your spirit guides, the Most High, the angels, knowing who you are and your destiny and knowing who you will become. The thing about that is that dark and devil energies are just as aware of that. They foresee it too, which is why you are targeted. You are targeted at a young age because, see, the thing about children and their intuition is very potent. Very potent because we have yet to experience, all of these things of the world to impact our perspective, our innocence, our purity. And the purer you are in heart and spirit, Knight of Wands, the purer you are in heart and spirit, the easier and more fluent it is for you to receive and interact with the spirit realm. So, once again, we have the Hermit card. So, as I was saying, to put you in that energy, and this is 111. I looked up at the time. It's currently 111. But yes, to put you in this energy of isolation, feeling like no one really understands. To disrupt your stability, this is the Four of Wands. Your passions, to misguide your passions. And inflict harm upon you with these Eight of Swords. And once again, like I said, 8 years old, and we have that in the center. So for a lot of us, this did occur around the age of 8, and there's significance to that. Because it's that age where you're like in between. You're super duper innocent, but at the same time, you've been exposed to just enough of some of the world. And where if something traumatic takes place to you around that age, where you feel bound and tied down in your emotions, you feel secluded to your emotions, like no one understands, or there's, no one there, or you just feel isolated within your trauma. We can even cause ourselves to remain in this energy, or disrupt or destroy ourselves with our choices as a means to try to understand, and having trouble understanding why, this will happen to you. We also had the Three of Swords, and like I said, the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords, this came after the Star card. So I'm going to show y'all what this is looking like right now, because we also have the Gemini card, the Lovers. So to put you in two minds, to imbalance your feminine and masculine energy, where this is going to take a lot of work for you to come back to yourself, to pour into yourself, to trust again. Because for a lot of us, this causes problems with trusting individuals, definitely for me. And another thing that I will say is that this wasn't like an immediate thing. For me, I struggled with authority, because I used to always feel like, they weren't really there for me how they should have been. Clarify the Hermit card. Clarify Four of Wands. Clarify the Eight of Swords. Clarify the Eight of Swords. So far we had the Hermit card clarified with the Seven of Cups. A lot of indecision. A lot of temptation, misguidedness, doors that you've been open to. This opens so many doors of darkness. See, that's why I said sexual abuse is such an intense weapon and trauma for someone to experience, because it just creates access to other entities, energies, habits. It makes you more vulnerable to those doors and those outlets. So you have to, get back in touch with that innocence and that purity within yourself, so that you can choose the right cup. The Four of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Cups. So once again, stability and to put an end to what you was going to what you're supposed to walk into, and just that energy that you had, your energy when you were just involved in something. This is what you created, the Ten of Cups. And so trying to disrupt that feminine and masculine energy within yourself, that innocence, your pure-heartedness. Because we have 2 kids playing in this card. So your innocence. And the 8 of Swords is clarified by the Moon card. So, yes, lots of dark entities. Dark entities to imbalance your sacral chakra, your root chakra. And being bound by even secrets. For some of us, this sexual abuse you kept to yourself, you kept hidden for a plethora of reasons. I know some people, they felt like it was their fault because they were at a certain place. Or maybe they feel like they didn't fight back as much as they could have. Or maybe if they would have told their parents. Some of us had very strict parents who weren't as lenient when it came to, you hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And this could have happened with a friend. Not with a friend, or maybe a friend, yes. I didn't say that for nothing. This could have happened with someone you thought was a trusted friend, or a family member of that trusted friend, or someone connected to that trusted friend. And so you kept this secret. You allowed yourself to remain bound by these secrets of this abuse, this debilitation within yourself, because you wanted to avoid any further sores, or feeling like, your parents won't let you go anywhere anymore. They won't trust you and your decisions, your judgment, or another thing too, family members who secretly abused you or made you keep this a secret to protect themselves. And this had you bound because you felt obligated to keep this to yourself because you didn't know any better and you were afraid. Clarify the 4 of Pentacles. Around 11 ancestors, ascended masters, high priestess, priest. Regarding sexual abuse. Clarify the 4 of Pentacles. 2 of Swords. Clarify the Star card. Clarify the Star card. The World. And 2 of Pentacles. Clarify 3 of Swords. Okay, there's too many cards. Clarify 3 of Swords. Clarify 3 of Swords, Spirit. Knight of Wands, and that already showed up. That showed up one time before, and I put it back in because I was just, talking and shuffling. Didn't have any intentions on pulling a card at the time, but that card had already came out. Clarify 9 of Swords. So people rushing in with that passionate energy, coming in fast and taking advantage of the tears and the blockages, the energetic blockages that you had as a result of abuse or early abuse within your life. 9 of Swords clarified with 10 of Swords, everything is fine. This is really deep. This is really deep. Clarify the Lovers. I'm just going to clarify all the cards and then I'm going to go through them. Clarify the Lovers. The Fool and the Empress. Clarify the 10 of Wands. This card, no, I take that back. This one didn't come out yet. Okay, 5 of Wands. 10 of Wands is clarified with the 5 of Wands. And I'm going to show you guys the whole spread again. Clarify 2 of Cups, Divine and Loving Ancestors, Ascended Masters, High Priestess. The Sun card. sun card already revealed itself today too. Well, tonight. Today. It's 1 o'clock. This is real grape juice, by the way. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to show you the cards that came out, just so you don't think I'm, I want to be very clear about what's coming out before I really get into these messages. And there'll be a continuation, because it's definitely a serious topic, very triggering topic, and so we won't be able to cover everything in one video. As you know, especially if you experience this is something that you deal with for many years, because you literally have to rebalance yourself and heal. You have to deeply heal. So we have the Hermit clarified with the 7 of Cups, 4 of Wands clarified with the 10 of Cups, 8 of Swords clarified with the Moon card, 4 of Pentacles clarified with 2 of Swords, the Star card clarified with the World, 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords clarified with Knight of Wands, 9 of Swords clarified with everything is fine, the 10 of Swords, the Lovers clarified with the Empress and the Fool, 5 of Wands clarified, 10 of Wands clarified with 5 of Wands, and 2 of Cups clarified with the Sun card. So, we left off on the 8 of Swords and the Moon card. So, a lot of times, this being something that is kept secret, whether the abuse itself, whether it's initiated by the abuser to keep it a secret. And see, for those of us who experience this in childhood, it's very impacting on the mental, because for someone to do something to you that you don't truly understand, because you're not familiar with sex itself, but they definitely communicate to you. It's like, because we especially divine beings, we automatically have this sensor within us when something is good and something is bad. And so that's naturally going to go off. You're going to know, okay, this is not right. Something's wrong about this. This is not bad. And then on top of that, you have someone telling you not to say anything, to keep this a secret, or to silence you in this this unfair treatment, this misuse of passionate energy. It definitely can teach you to be silent when someone or when people do things to you that you do not deserve, or do wrong unto you. It can definitely debilitate your voice, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, your throat chakra. And then another thing, when someone tells you, oh, don't say this, it's associated with protection. And so that dissociation with, okay, something happened, don't tell anybody, protect the individual, and not even realizing you're protecting the abuser, you're protecting a trauma or an entity that does not belong to be attached to you, to dwell within you. And it's like you're subconsciously and unconsciously protecting this entity, this energy, unknowingly, subconsciously, spiritually unknowingly, basically, because of course you're protecting it, but at the same time you don't understand the depths of what exactly you are protecting. And in essence, you're holding on to this energy and carrying this energy with you. an energy that's definitely going to hold fast to you, because that was the goal in the first place. That was the purpose of the abuse being inflicted upon you. Upon you. So we have the Four of Pentacles clarified with the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is being blinded to your own intuition. Having the ability, the capacity to remove the veil, to cut down the deception and the dark energy, but not truly knowing which way to go with that. You know, like just being not sure where to go. And it's like you're in this energy where you want to protect, you feel like you should protect yourself, at the same time you don't even understand what protection is, because mind you, with the Eight of Swords and the Moon card, you know, you've been taught to protect an entity and energy, so there's already a disconnect there with protection itself, and then you yourself wasn't protected whenever this act was inflicted upon you. So it's like you don't really have a good example or foundation of what protection truly is, and understanding which direction is safe. So you have your swords both ways, but you're still blindly walking into things. So we have the Star card. As I said, this is all happening because of who you are. This took place because of who you are and who you would become. Who you already was, of course, but who you would become, because of course as you get older and become, you know, more sharpened and mastering, you know, your psychic abilities and healing and transmuting and transcending situations and experiences, you become like, it's like your star brightens, you know, that star that you are, it brightens. It becomes more potent, more intense, more powerful. So trying to prohibit you from embodying that energy or debilitate that energy within you. So that was clarified with the World and Two of Pentacles. So again, like, having you juggle your stability and instability. While one of them is literally kind of more weighty because it does not belong. So I'll say this, especially going along with this spread. This pentacle that she's holding further down, look at her leg, and even her focus is over here. Now, the symbolism with this pentacle being higher up, her leg being straight, and all of this, you know what I'm saying? There's symbolism that 3333 was just on the timer after I said that. The symbolism in this balance over here with this pentacle, this groundedness, see how grounded her leg is with this pentacle, opposed to this one over here that's like weighing her down, pulling her down, tugging at her, you know. And it has her attention because it's so strong. It's such a strong energy. Sexual abuse, assault, any type of sexual abuse is very strong, heavy, weighty energy. This requires deep shadow work. Trauma transmutation. You have to heal this. It's like you want this side to be aligned with this side, this groundedness on this side. Pentacles is earth energy. So you want to be grounded. The idea of being grounded is being like steadfast, like your feet is grounded into Mother Earth. So definitely to put you in that type of energy. And like I said, the World card, And I even like how, so it's the Star card, and then it's the Two of Pentacles on the right, and the World card on the left. So being weighed down by the ways of the world, the ways of the world, the injustices, the devil energy, the imbalances, the things that we see, upon human nature. Or, as we know, not all beings are humans. There's some people who are literally here to cause friction, to cause debilitation, to cause restriction, discord within divine beings, divine masculines and feminines. You know how people say, oh, the weight of the world's on your shoulders, that type of thing. And another common saying regarding the world, spirituality, the ways of the world. And then you have the way of righteousness, the way of the divine, the Most High, the Most High. Being weighed down, distracted, and just focused on the things that the world has done to you, where the world has failed you. And all this because those entities, they saw who you were, who you will become, that you was a force to be reckoned with, even at a young age, because that's just who you are. It's in you. That's what you're here for. Just like I just said, how there's people who are here literally to cause discord. There's also people here to cause balance and harmony. So we have the Three of Swords clarified by the Knight of Wands. So as I said, and people seeing this, you ending up here as a result of this abuse, people taking advantage of this, coming in fast with just that passionate energy. This is a knight, not a king, not an emperor. This is a knight. So people who are older or more mature than you, taking advantage of your innocence, taking advantage of that vulnerability, and adding to the heartbreak, adding to the discord. It's like trying to get you while you're down, because it's only gonna weaken you more. And see, the idea is to get you to destroy yourself. The idea is to get you to doubt yourself, to not believe in yourself, to blame yourself, to hold yourself back. And unfortunately, unfortunately, some people have, as a result of sexual abuse, committed suicide, done some very harsh acts, basically crossed over to that devil energy, opposed to retaining their heart, trauma transmutation and healing and doing the shadow work. And when they were in this Nine of Swords, in this Ten of Swords, still working and healing from that, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Like I said, not everybody got here. Now, we've all, as a result, who've experienced this, we've all been here. We've all been here, shed a lot of tears, had a lot of swords stabbed on our back. Your kindness and all of those beautiful things and beautiful gifts and characteristics that you just naturally have because you're a divine being. You're an image of the divine. Being stabbed in the back, pretending that everything is fine, or even healing from these situations, even though after always just constantly being stabbed in the back, because people having some type of insight, or those entities having some type of insight of these tears, of this history that you have of such abuse. Like I said, we're already at 39 minutes. I didn't want to go this long, but it's pretty late. So we have the Lovers, clarified by the Fool and the Empress. So now, originally when I pulled this card out, I said, being in two minds. And for another thing that I just picked up was that the thing about experiencing sexual abuse, especially for women, and it being a masculine energy to inflict this type of abuse on you, it can disrupt how you view your relationship with masculine energies moving forward, and even prolong the time of you experiencing like that real divine partnership with your divine counterpart, because your trust issues, or like I said, you needing to heal that masculine energy within yourself, or your relationship with the opposite sex. So we have the Empress, and prohibiting you, causing you to prohibit yourself, because this is who you are and this is who you've always been, but prohibiting you from your new beginning with your true divine counterpart because of that disruption and passionate energy, that misuse and abuse of passionate energy. So you not knowing what passionate energy you can fully trust because of the passion. Even the people that you have dated since being sexually abused. Some people have been sexually abused and raped by partners, people you've been in a relationship with. Because the thing about an entity and a spirit, especially something like that, even though it may be a different person or whatever, that same energy can reincarnate in a different person. And for some of us, this has followed us throughout our life, because like I said, it was one of the most greatest, it is one of the most greatest weapons you can inflict upon somebody. One of the greatest forms of trauma you can inflict upon somebody. And you are already this. Empress, the Star. That's who you are. Lots of earth energy. This is who you are. And so they had to come at you hard. They had to come at you hard. And they will come at you. And it's like when they got you there, they had to come in fast. Because the idea was to keep doing it. In hopes of keeping you in this Eight of Swords energy, or for you to defeat yourself or end yourself, to prohibit yourself from embodying your Empress energy, from allowing divine love to really come into your life. Whether it was love in general, like healthy divine love from the Most High, because that too. So either that or both. Or your divine counterpart, like I said, new beginnings of situations that you rightfully deserve, because you don't know what to trust. You don't know what's safe. You don't want anything to prohibit your stability, or you know what I'm saying. So then we have the Ten of Wands, clarified with the Five of Wands. Getting out of overcoming one situation, only to end up into more conflict or more misuse of passionate energy. And then you see these are more people. This is Five of Wands, and this is more people, and they're combating with one another. So now, at this point, because we already talked about, look at all these swords. When she's up and she's losing sleep and crying and hurt, and then you got the Ten of Swords, and everything is fine, because it's putting an end to that. You've been stabbed, and you experienced this so many times that, but because of the Empress that you truly are, the Star that you truly are, the warrior that you truly are, you overcame these things. Divine. Or at least you will be if you haven't yet, because this is who you are. For some of you, this could have been a Gemini that did this to you. This could have been a Cancer. Could have been an earth sign. Definitely fire sign. Definitely a fire sign that may have done this to you. But as I said, even Scorpio, Scorpio, Pisces, but really any of the signs. I literally just named all of them, basically, just about. But yes, getting to the end, to one situation, only to have more people try to come in with their misguided passions to inflict, more confusion and harm upon you. You have the Two of Cups clarified with the Sun card. And still, and this is, for some of you, this is your divine partnership with your counterpart because of the harmony and the love and the justice that you guys are going to bring upon this world, upon this this time that we're in, this, raising the frequency of this reality. But yes, the Sun card, once again, because of who you are. Your masculine, balancing your masculine, your feminine energy, coming back, balance within yourself and shining like the star and the sun, seeing it for what it is, having enlightenment on the situation and healing from the situation, coming to a place where you're now grateful for your path and your experiences because of the sharpening that is done, the wisdom that you've gained, the discernment, your gifts and abilities being heightened, your sense of awareness, your consciousness, loving yourself, seeing through deception and seeing through the veils, being able to help other people overcome these energies, these very hard and intense energies, teaching people the tools that you cultivated, that you've been guided to by your spirit guides, and passing them down so you can also not only just prevent others from going through these things, but to help them get out of situations much sooner and quicker than it took for you. Giving them the keys, having that enlightenment, that balanced masculine and feminine energy, so that you still know how to be your feminine self, but also know how to protect yourself. All right. So, I said we won't go be here that long, y'all, but we here. So, I'm going to pull from the Master Spiritual Work. What messages can you give us, Divine 11 Ancestors, Spirit Guides, regarding the spread on the purpose and the intention of sexual abuse on the Divine Collective? What messages can you give us, Divine 11 Ancestors, regarding the purpose of sexual abuse on the Divine Collective? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave those out. So immediately the first card that flipped around, because we had two come out, but they're face down. But the card that flipped up first, mental health. Mental health attacks are at the root purpose of attacks. The first, whenever I rehearsed what chakras that I felt were impacted in what order as a result of sexual abuse, I believe I said the crown chakra first. Yes, your mental health. Mental health attacks are at the root purpose of attacks. The attacker wants to exert some source of power upon the individual through the conscious surrender of some source of power, which is usually mental or physical. Understand that all contact must be blocked first, and then self-awareness, discernment, development, and psychic enhancement must be undertaken to understand the ever-unfolding tactics used against your mental health. It's confirmation. Oh, God. I didn't know all these cards came out, y'all. I'm sorry. So we have friends, tears, and block. So like I said, some of these attackers came through friends, whether it was family members of friends, people who acted as if they were friends, or this was put here so this would disrupt the formation of your friends due to lack of trust, or of friends putting you in situations or encouraging behaviors that were toxic as a result of sexual abuse, or that may have led into some form of a sexual attack or abuse. It can be different for anyone. So, friends. This card is an indication that the person who is facilitating spiritual attacks on you is a current or former friend. This could also indicate one or more of your friends is facilitating the attack, or the attackers are connected to or being recruited by your friends. Tears. Tears are similar to rips in the sense that it is designed to deplete your energy. Tears are also meant to split your energy body into fractions for quicker draining, to induce split personalities, and lack direction and focus. You guys, Two of Swords. Tears are also meant to split your energy body into fractions for quicker draining, to induce split personalities, and lack direction and focus. I'm gonna try to at least end this by 1 hour. Block. Blocking spells vary from banishing spells, as they are designed to block energies from entering your field. Blocking can happen. I'm sorry, it's a little hard for me to see, and I'm kind of sleepy, so. Blocking can happen through cutting cords with the person throwing the attacks. It also includes setting up freezer spells and utilizing sigils and other magical symbols to block a repeat offender. Blocking is a repetitive process. So some of you either have already done this, or you need to do this to those people who inflict those type of behaviors or who have attacked you. Because for some of us, it was family members. And it's going to help you to just completely just block those people out. Forget about trying to hash the situation out. This, that, and the third. You need to understand that they have entities attached to them that they need to do shadow work to get rid of that. And that's not really your place. Your place is to call it for what it is and to banish them from your energetic field. Then we have the heart chakra. The heart chakra is located on the heart organ, which is also a secretor of hormones. It is the gateway to the seat of power in the spiritual realm in order to alter conditions in the material realm. Symptoms: imbalance in empathy, ranging from enmeshment to apathy. A lot of these individuals are that, definitely imbalanced in the heart chakra, disconnected from the heart chakra. like I said, it's definitely an entity, very devilish energy that these people are embodying for them to facilitate such harsh acts upon individuals, especially family members. They're not in their right consciousness. They're being used by other entities who know damn well what they're doing and what their intention is because of who you are. Because they're not looking at you with physical eyes. They're looking at you. This is an entity, a spiritual devil entity, spirit energy, looking at your divine soul energy. They know who you are. Their attacks